welcome to Cleveland Connectors. I'm your host, Erin. I'm so excited to have Christy Harst from Christy Harst voiceover here today. Obviously, she's going to entertain me and hopefully you guys too. And I really just want to learn a little bit more about you and what you do. And don't make me laugh too hard, obviously. I'm just teasing. But yeah, I think I want to just start with thank you so much for, coming today to talk. I think it's really powerful for women to just get out there in front of everyone and just voice, what you do and who you are and what it's all about. I find this really fascinating and I'd want to hear your story. To tell me a little bit like how you got started.
Excellent. I'd love to. Thanks for having me. Again, I'm a voiceover actor and public speaker, and you have heard my voice on the World Series, the NBA Finals, Monday Night Football as one of the national voices of YouTube TV. And in 2021 and 2022, I served as the national voice for John Deere. I'm also a public speaker, and I have two signature speeches. One is where I help women identify, reclaim their authority, and heal from past traumas. And the other is I take participants or listeners on a journey on how I got to voiceover and what goal setting method I use to get there. And I actually got started in voiceover by happenstance. I wanted to be the next Barbara Walters, in case you didn't get the memo. A lot of people didn't because, obviously I'm here and I'm not on The View. But I went to college. My whole life from the time I was 12 years old. From college, my goal was to be the next Barbara Walters. I majored in broadcast communications. I had 4 internships in college, one of which was at MTV. And it wasn't until my senior year, about 3 months before I was supposed to graduate, that I had to tell my parents I had changed my mind.
That's always
I
fun.
just realized through MTV and another internship at a TV station that I had that I wasn't willing to do what women needed to do to have a successful career in that industry.
Right.
And after I made that choice, I immediately went into the nonprofit world and did a lot of event planning and marketing and PR. I used to be one of the press secretaries for the first female mayor of the city of Cleveland, Jane Campbell. I was PR and marketing director for East 4th Street downtown, if you've ever been there. And all that time, right? I felt this tug saying, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Wow.
So in the year 2000, I got myself an agent and I did voiceover work and on-camera work on the side. It was something I did at lunch hour. It was something that I would take off a half a day if I got a job. I just did it on the side. And it wasn't until I got laid off from a job and then fired from another job that I realized that the universe, or God, however you want to call it, was telling me something. And basically was telling me, hello, you're not listening. You're not supposed to be doing that. And so when my husband and I got married and we decided to start a family, we did research and we found out that daycare is all kinds of expensive.
It is, yes.
And at the time, if I were to get another job in marketing and PR, $45,000, $65,000, $70,000, that would have to literally go almost 100% to paying for daycare. And I just said to my husband, this is not, why would I pay somebody else almost my entire salary to take kids? Right. So it was at that point that we said, we're going to go all in on voiceover and on-camera work. Built a studio in our basement with nothing but PVC pipes and moving blankets from Lowe's.
Amazing.
And I did that downstairs in the basement for a while. And it's great because it allowed me to create my own schedule. It allowed me to be present for my children. And it still allowed me to contribute financially to the family. And then once I started picking up more clients and getting more work and being more successful, then we invested in the big studio behind me. And now I'm no longer in the basement. I'm no longer a dark troll that works, in the basement. I am now somebody who just talks all day to herself in a padded room. It's great. Great. Yeah, I need friends.
Wow. I mean, I think that story is just like what we all want, right? We all come across that in life where we're just like, is this where I should be? Is this what I should be doing? And to really kind of pinpoint what it was and be able to do that is just remarkable to me. I feel like it happens, I think, to all of us really. What was like for you like that actually, and what made you kind of just say like, this is it? Like, was there someone else, or like, did you sit with yourself with it? What was like that pivotal point?
So I'm going to be completely honest. If I wasn't forced to be in the position, I'd probably still be in marketing and PR.
Yeah,
Because the idea of leaving a paycheck every 2
right.
weeks,
Scary.
health benefits, right?
Yes,
It's
yes.
it's very scary. And to think that
Mhm.
I could go do that all on my own, that I could go earn money,
Right.
it's very scary, especially for women.
Very
How can a
extremely.
woman say, I want to have a child and we
Mhm.
want to raise them and you want the best things for your child, but I'm going to quit my day job?
Right. It's
I'm
the
not going to go get a
security.
salary, right?
Yeah.
That's super, super scary. And
Wow.
if I wasn't forced to be in that position, it never
Yeah.
would have happened. In addition, the first 5 to 6 years after I made that decision, it was very, very hard.
That was my next question. Yeah, the pushback, like not everyone's just going to jump into success.
Yep.
So what
And
happened?
yeah, and voiceover and acting, as you can imagine, is not one of those things that's instant
Oh yeah.
success.
Right.
And my husband and I had many tough conversations.
Mm,
He wanted me to go back to the 9 to 5 lifestyle. He
of
wanted me
course.
to go
Yeah.
back because he wanted security for his family.
Right.
There were a lot of tough moments where I had to make tough choices. And those tough choices included pawning my wedding ring. It included,
Wow.
you know, extreme couponing and,
Sacrificing.
sacrificing stuff for yourself. Like I didn't get my hair cut for almost a year
Oh
and
yeah.
I didn't look that great,
Didn't have the halo effect going.
I know, right? I didn't look that great and I didn't feel that great, but those
Right.
are the sacrifices that you have to make. And when I look back on those times now, I'm grateful for them.
Mhm.
I wasn't grateful in the midst of them.
Right.
No, but my husband and I went through years really struggling. But I have to say that it's struggle in comparison, right? It's struggle when you look
Relative.
at other people, right? So
Right.
I'm proud of what we were able to come out of. And I'm really glad I had that experience.
100%. Wow. I mean, I like to always sit with that stuff because I feel like that's what we're all here for, right? It's those moments. It's the moments that really test you and you take like a gut check on, is this the right choice? Am I making the right choice? And getting to the point where you're pushing yourself to actually do the things that you truly know that you want to do, like your passion. Were
Well,
you
I will say that a huge breaking point for me was 3 years ago. I was admitted into the hospital and treated for a stroke. And I couldn't feel the right side of my body. And I spent the night in ICU and I had all these things hooked up to my body, right? My chest, my head, I had like IVs in both arms. And when you are in ICU and you're being treated for a stroke, every hour throughout the night, they shine these things in your eyes. They make you do like these little tests and stuff to lift up your
yeah.
limbs. So you don't really sleep that much. And I found myself thinking a lot about my kids.
What's
And I cried a
important?
lot that night because I thought about not being there for homecoming, not being there for soccer games, first heartbreaks. And it was at that point that I vowed that whatever needed to change in my life
Yeah.
was going to change. And it took me over a year to recover. The first 2 to 3 months, I had a lot of speech problems where everything I wanted to say was here. But when it went out here, it became jumbled. And what's funny is I could still read. I could read easy, so easy to read. So I didn't have a problem in the booth recording, which was a blessing.
Wow.
So it took over a year. I was very tired. If I took a shower, I had to sleep for 3 hours. I had to have somebody else take my kids
Wow.
to and from school. And so now I am truly grateful to just be able to, take my kids to school,
Be healthy.
take them to practice.
Yeah.
And I've changed my diet completely. And I have started on a journey of, I hate that word journey. I can't believe I just said it. I've started on a path. Yes, a path. Um, to kind of some woo-woo stuff. And the person before that would have never done woo. I never would have done anything woo-woo. It was just completely out of, it just wasn't what I wanted to do. And I just thought it was kind of kooky. But when you literally can't get out of bed, and when you can't walk up and down the stairs without needing to take a nap, and you're missing out on your kids' lives, you're willing to do anything.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And that's kind of a lot about what I talk about when I speak to women about really identifying things in your life that could be keeping you from being the best you.
Right.
And I had to do that work, and it's really hard work because it wasn't just stress for me. There was a lot of stuff that I never dealt with that had happened in my past that I needed to. And if I didn't do that work, I was never going to heal. I was always going to be going numb again. Always, because I would go numb right here all the time that first year. And so I've realized the hard way. And that's, I think, the theme of my story. Like, I had to get laid off and fired to realize I was not in the path that I was supposed to be doing. I had to be hospitalized and treated for a stroke to realize that I needed to take care of all this stuff that I hadn't taken care of in the past, and that mental health and wellness is and needs to be a priority in women's lives, because women go through so many different things than men do. And it's really important to take time for yourself, even when you think you can't, because there's moments in your day where you can assign those things.
Very important. I feel like no matter what, your purpose was always trying to get your attention.
Right? Like, and I was like, no, I'm too cool for school. I don't want to do that. Yeah. And you're right.
It was like, no, you have a purpose, and I'm going to keep reminding you of it. So, because you obviously do the voiceover work, but you speak a little bit about talking to women. Tell me a little bit more about what you're doing. You're doing motivational speaking in front of groups of people? Do you do it online and one-on-one?
So I will do Zooms. Yeah, I will do Zoom with Zoom, where I've done Zoom speeches. I also do in person at retreats or at events. Okay. I felt the tug once I started to feel better, and I started to regain my life. Yeah. I felt the tug to say, you need to share this with other people, specifically women. And here's how I feel. I do not want anybody else to have to go through what I went through. You don't need to admit yourself in ICU because you can't feel the right side of your body, because you haven't dealt with stress, you haven't dealt with stuff in your past, and because you have a really nasty boss at your job, and because you have had years and decades of just not living the life that you want to live. You don't have to do that. You don't. And I really want to be able to share that message and inspire other people to take the first step into realizing that if you have a passion that's tugging, if you have stressors in your life and you don't deal with them now, you need to deal with them now. If you have some stuff from your childhood that you haven't processed properly, you need to deal with that now, because it's going to come up.
It's going to come up.
And it's going to come up at the worst possible time.
Right. 100%.
I mean, at the time that I had the stroke.
Wow.
And that's what's funny is, like, half of the neurologists told me I had a stroke. The other half said I had a migraine. I was like, does it matter? Wow. I still can't live my life. Yeah. Right. I'm still, at the time, my son, my youngest, was 3.5, and he crawled up into bed and he said, Mommy, when are you going to be happy again?
Wow. Wow.
And I thought to myself, wow, I need to get better so that I can be a better example for my kids. I have to get better. And it's just been this long pathway, because I don't want to use the word journey. Everybody uses the word journey. I don't like it.
They really do.
A very long path.
I'm going to stop using it
now. To get there. So that's one of the things that I talk to women about. Another, especially women, especially in post-pandemic, all these women are realizing they don't have to be in a 9-to-5 job. They don't have to work for that jerk boss or that jerk company that doesn't fit within their moral compass, right? They're realizing that even though I have all of these benefits, even though I have mental wellness programs, I can't
Right.
take them because of the culture of my job. Because, did
100%.
did you hear about Barbara in county who took her
Oh,
wellness?
yeah.
Oh, can you believe she left the office to do that? You don't need
Just like
to
that
be
for
in those
sure.
environments, right? You
So
don't.
unhealthy. No, I
So
agree
unhealthy.
100%.
So there's so many women right now that are on the cusp of, do I stay at my current job? Do I go find another job, which is scary? Do
Yeah.
I go off and do my own thing? Can I go off and do my own thing? Can I be a consultant? And so I talk a lot about what I realize in retrospect, this method that I've used to obtain goals, to get that internship at MTV, to get that job at the press office, to become a voiceover actor once it was put in my face, like
Right. I mean, your accomplishments are huge. They're not just like how did you, it's like how did you do these things? Like tell me.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I don't want to give away all my secret sauce, but I will say this. I will say this. When I was 12 years old, Barbara Walters was my inspiration.
Yes. So like 12 years old, having that type of role model is like.
So identify your inspiration. Who around you, who above
really
you,
good.
who beside
Yeah,
you is doing
important.
what you want to do. And even if it's not career-wise, what kind of life is Wendy over there living?
Right.
Makes you want to be like Wendy. What inspiration can Wendy, your neighbor? It doesn't have to be a famous person, right?
Sure.
But identify.
Whoever inspires you, right?
Yes. Identify the inspirations in your life, and then we can start to map out a plan on how to get there. When I was in high school, it was made very clear to me by my parents that, we can't afford college. So you need to get assistance.
Yeah.
And I loved playing volleyball. And so at the time back then, Gabrielle Reese was this famous volleyball player.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember her?
Mm-hmm.
And so I identified her as my inspiration.
Yep.
And I went on to play college all 4 years, varsity starter, 2-year captain. And you could say, I want this kind of life. And that's a big goal, right? But if you take it step by step, I want this part I want to be like Wendy in just this part. And I want to be like Susie over here in just this part.
Yes.
It's much more attainable.
100%. I feel like it becomes so overwhelming when you think of like the bigger picture. When you break it down to steps, it's so much easier to accomplish those goals. 100%.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this is a lot. I mean, maybe I wasn't laughing as much, maybe crying a little bit inside, but
yeah, I mean,
this has been probably one of the best talks I've had in a long time, only because I feel like you're speaking to me, I feel, and hopefully others, but it's taking this inner voice of, can I do it? And saying you can do it. It's just gonna take perseverance and understanding that things are hard. They're not easy. They don't come easy.
That's right.
And having someone to look up to and inspire you to know, like, now you're my new inspiration, Christy.
Oh, that's so nice of you to say.
Right?
That's so nice.
You have like people that you can say, wow, that's such a great story. And like, you've overcome so much. And it's like, not only that, but you're keeping your spirit, and you're like this bright light, you're very like fun and personable, and just like people I'm sure are drawn to you because of that. Right. And when you speak to them, they're going to listen to these powerful messages that will resonate in everyone, in my opinion.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. That's very kind of you. And I hope that people, when they do meet me or when they hear me speak, walk away with those things, because those are the things I'm trying to share. And I will be sharing those on May 5th. Did you see how I just transitioned there?
Yes, I was going to ask, so thank you.
I'm so thanky. I'm a smooth operator. So on May 5th, I've joined forces with 2 other women, and we are hosting Corporate Cut Day in Cleveland.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
Yeah, so it's Corporate Cut Day in Cleveland.
I love it.
It's actually in Fairview Park. But anyways, Corporate Cut Day is all about women who are in leadership positions.
Okay.
Might be CEO, might be a manager, HR person, anyone who has a lot of responsibility in their day-to-day life. at their job, right? Coming together and kind of having a Ferris Bueller's Day Off situation, kind of like a senior skip
Just
day.
talked about that movie yesterday. That is so funny.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Great
I created a promo video to help promote the event, and I used little clips of Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh,
I'll have
amazing.
to share it with you.
Yes, I'll share it with everyone too.
Oh,
That'd
thank
be great.
you.
Yeah.
So it's all about this concept of let's just get away and be around women who have the same kind of challenges we do and talk about post-pandemic boundaries are important because we lost those in the pandemic.
Right? Yes.
So when you're leading a team, how do you recreate boundaries so that you can be your most efficient at work? I'm going to talk a lot about. I'm going to talk a lot about having the importance of identifying those things that have happened in your past, and also being considerate of what other people might be going through at work and why they talk the way they talk or act the way they act.
Wow.
And also for me, one of the big things I'll be talking about is how your office or your job may provide all of these health and wellness programs and you can't take it because of the culture, what you can do, what steps you can take on your own to make yourself a better person all around, not just for work, but for life in general. And maybe can help you, guide you to those steps of the changes that need to happen.
Amazing.
More confidence. And then our keynote speaker is Megan Kim. Megan Kim is the director of COSI and the senior vice president of Greater Cleveland Partnership.
Amazing.
This woman, she has seen it all when it comes to business, right? I mean, this woman, her accolades are endless. She is an astounding woman, and she's going to talk about how when you have your mental game right, when you have your health and wellness game right, and your business game right, how you can take all that and be a force in your community.
Yes, love that. Yes.
So that's May 5th. It's at Bain Cabin in Fairview Park, and I'll share a link with you. It's called Corporate Cut Day, and I'll also share the video with you. And hopefully, hopefully we can get some of your viewers there to experience it.
100%. Yes, I would love that. Yes, I'm gonna, when we're done, send it all, put it on the link. We're gonna have a big crowd there, and I'm gonna come. I love it. I'm really excited.
Are you coming?
Yeah, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna skip, and I'm gonna come.
Yes. Sign up. Yes. Yes, it's gonna be great. I'm really excited about it because I think it's an opportunity for women. Here's one thing that I don't think a lot of people realize. You don't have to go to a therapist to experience healing.
Wow.
You don't have to go and sit down with your higher up to get all the guidance you need.
Yes.
When you bring a group of women together with like-minded interests,
right,
and all the same challenges,
yes,
you're going to experience something that you wouldn't just by going to a single source, right?
100%. And
if you've experienced that before, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I have been to conferences where I have been simply uplifted by being in the room.
Yes.
I am simply empowered by the awe. I've literally been in awe at the accomplishments of the 100 plus women that are around me.
Yes.
Like I got to raise up my game. I have to get myself better internally. I have to get my
motivating,
right?
Yeah.
Just being in the room. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to create on May 5th with Corporate Cut.
I love it. I feel so honored to talk to you today. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh.
I really am. Like, this is the stuff I mean. Like, I think that people need to take more time to really connect with each other. Because what a story. And I just didn't even expect all that. And you're just like inspiring. And I'm just so excited to learn more and be a part of more things that you do. So thank you.
My gosh,
thank you so much, Christy.
Awesome. No, thank you. And thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to share everything.
Yes, we will be in touch for sure. You have a good rest of your weekend. And I'm excited for coming to the event and more to come.
Thank you.
Christy Harst. Thanks so much.